Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Judges defend controversial two-tier justice plan for ethnic minority criminals. A two-tier justice plan that could mean ethnic minority criminals get softer sentences has been defended by top judges. The Sentencing Council insisted it was right to say offenders from ethnic minorities should be treated differently and hit back at Shabana Mahmood after she criticized new guidelines. The Justice Secretary has urged the Sentencing Council to think again after it told judges to take into account a convict's ethnicity, faith, or gender when deciding whether a pre-sentence report is needed. A pre-sentence report outlines any mitigating factors in a case and can mean a criminal is less likely to be jailed. Ms. Mahmood, who is also Lord Chancellor, hinted that new laws could be introduced if the Sentencing Council failed to think again. But Lord Justice Williams, chairman of the Sentencing Council, responded by telling Ms. Mahmood that she was threatening the independence of the courts. Don't miss, Putin's computer hackers target the UK. Britain should be extremely worried. Latest. U.S. economy meltdown as Donald Trump's tariffs spark stock market frenzy. Latest. Rachel Reeves warned massive change in spring budget will be catastrophic. Latest. Family of murdered MP David Amos slam Yvette Cooper over wall of silence. Latest. In a letter to her, he said, "The Council preserves the critical constitutional position of the independent judiciary in relation to sentencing. In criminal proceedings where the offender is the subject of prosecution by the state should not determine the sentence imposed on an individual offender. If sentencing guidelines of whatever kind were to be dictated in any way by ministers of the Crown, this principle would be breached." On the new guidance for judges to consider a criminal's ethnicity before deciding their punishment, the chairman added there is good evidence offenders from ethnic minorities are currently treated more harshly. He insisted, offenders from some ethnic minority backgrounds are more likely to receive an immediate custodial sentence than white offenders. In some offense-specific guidelines, this fact is highlighted. Why this disparity exists remains unclear. The Council's view is that providing a sentencer with as much information as possible about the offender is one means by which such disparity might be addressed. This is why ethnic minority offenders were included in the list of cohorts. The Sentencing Council has 14 members including 8 judges. Other members include a police chief constable and the director of public prosecutions. Last week, the Council published new guidelines for courts to follow when imposing community and custodial sentences, including whether to suspend jail time. Don't miss, UK supports sending British soldiers to Ukraine, but dislikes Donald Trump. Latest. Rachel Reeves confirms big cuts to DWP benefits to avoid humiliation. Latest. U.S. stock market meltdown hits UK pensions as Donald Trump's tariffs spark panic. Latest. Cost of school dinners to increase as councils run out of money. Latest. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. The changes, which come into force from April, detail that a pre-sentence report would usually be necessary before handing out punishment for someone of an ethnic or cultural minority. Ms. Mahmood threatened to overrule the Sentencing Council by changing the law as she called for guidance for judges to consider a criminal's ethnicity before deciding their punishment to be reconsidered, as soon as possible. In a letter to the independent body, the Lord Chancellor said she must make clear my displeasure at the changes, adding, "I do not stand for differential treatment before the law like this." She wrote, a pre-sentence report can be instrumental in assisting courts in the determination of their sentence. But the access to one should not be determined by an offender's ethnicity, culture, or religion. She requested an urgent meeting with Lord Justice Davis, adding that no minister in the government approved of the guidance or was involved in the consultation. MS Mahmood also said she was considering whether policy decisions, such as this, should be made by the Sentencing Council, and what role MPs should play. For that reason, I will be reviewing the role and powers of the Sentencing Council alongside the work of the Independent Sentencing Review, she said. If necessary, I will legislate in the sentencing bill that will follow that review. Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jenrick said he will legally challenge the guidance on the grounds it enshrines anti-white and anti-Christian bias in the criminal justice system. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch had earlier called for MS Mahmood to change the law and said the Conservatives will back her. Ministers should decide, not Quangos. Labor need to grip this, she said.